फीवर 94.3 वर मी आहे आरजे मीनाल. फीवर ब्रेकफास्ट शो वरती सॅटर्डेला 9 ते 11च्या मध्ये आपण पेटोपिया असा एक शो करतो. सकाळ पेटोपिया पॉवर्ड बाय सकाळ मीडिया असा एक हा शो आहे ज्याच्यामध्ये आपण पेट्स अँड ओनली पेट्स बद्दल बोलतो. आणि असे गेस्ट असतात जे पेट ग्रूमर्स असू शकतात, वेट्स असू शकतात, पेट पेरेंट्स पण, अँड इवन अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल दॅट वर्क टुवर्ड्स द वेलबिंग अँड द वेलफेअर ऑफ dogs, strays, so to speak. And such a guest is with us in the Fever studio today, Gandhali Kulkarni. Hi, Gandhali.
Hi, Meenal.
Kashi yes?
Very well. How are you?
I am very good. Lovely, breezy, cool morning. We're sitting in the Fever
it's
studio.
very pretty.
Yeah. And you work for the welfare of strays, right?
Yes.
कसं तुला वाटलं की आपल्याला काहीतरी करायला पाहिजे ह्यांच्यासाठी? वॉट वॉज देयर एन इव्हेंट दॅट ट्रिगर्ड इट, और हॅव यू ऑलवेज बीन लाईक दिस बचपन से?
So I think I have always loved animals. I have
Okay.
always had pets
Okay.
at home. पण obviously म्हणजे 80s आणि 90s मध्ये there was no concept of like having completely indoor pets.
Correct.
So we've always had like indoor outdoor cats and dogs coming in and out.
Okay.
So that has always been like the ambience in the house.
Right.
But then I think the actual stray welfare that I'm doing right now started back in 2017.
Okay.
There was a very weak, hungry dog that used to come to our building's parking.
Okay.
And my mom used to feed him biscuits, and my mom had just like passed away.
Oh.
So I thought that he was, starved because nobody else was taking care of him.
Correct.
And he was also a paralyzed dog.
Oh.
So that was like my starting point.
Right.
And because he used to limp, so I named him Taimur,
Oh.
like the Taimur lung.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how I started, and then it just took off from there.
क्या बात है गांधाली. I have immense respect for people that do something for stray animals on the street especially, क्योंकि I know for a fact कि बहुत सारे challenges आते हैं आपकी जिंदगी में. उसके बारे में बातें करेंगे right here on Fever 94.3 में. है आरजे मीनल. चल रहा है Fever Breakfast Show, and Fever Breakfast Show पर Saturdays को सुबह 9 और 11 के बीच में हम बातें करते हैं about pets on the show that's called Sakar Petopia, powered by Sakar Media. She does a lot for the welfare of strays, and I know for a fact कि ऐसे लोगों की जिंदगी में बहुत सारे challenges आते हैं. Almost every alternate week we see videos of people who are looking after the welfare of strays are attacked by other people, are constantly being shunned by society.
Yeah.
Gandhali, tell us a little bit about your fair share of troubles that you've had when you've had to go through looking after strays on the road.
Yeah, well, as you said already that there are a lot of challenges. The first is actually feeding the dogs and letting people let you feed the dogs, because that is the most challenging part. Because what happens is na hum bhool jate hain that they are also a part of our society.
Correct.
The strays or the street animals that we see right now, they are a part of our society. They are urban strays. Right. So they are not hunters, they are not feral dogs, they are not savages, they are not wild animals.
Absolutely.
They can't hunt on their own.
Yeah.
Because who are they going to hunt? They don't get any prey. So what we need to remember is, if we have any kind of dogs or cats around us in our locality, it's our duty to feed them at least one meal a day.
Absolutely.
Which is enough. And then once they get a meal that is fulfilling for them, they are not going to cross your paths again.
Correct.
They will be there, they will coexist with us. Yeah. But they are not interested in us,
Correct.
So all the issues that come up, all the conflicts that come up, the animal human conflicts that we call them, generally come up because we forget to coexist peacefully with them. Right. So not everybody has to like the animals, not everybody has to love the animals. You don't even have to feed them. Correct. But just let them coexist with you. Yeah. You just have to tolerate their presence.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. Yeah. Of course, apart from the fact that, you get shunned by society. Yeah. There are also a lot of, like, in the sense, feeding troubles in terms of getting them to a vet, their food, funding, all of that stuff. I'm sure uske baare mein bhi baat karenge. We have with us Gandhali Kulkarni. Gandhali is basically working towards the welfare of street animals. अभी हम बातें कर रहे थे about how कुछ लोग हैं जो हमेशा इनको तंग करते रहते हैं व्हेन दे आर आउट देयर फीडिंग द स्ट्रीट एनिमल्स. बट ऑफ कोर्स इसके अलावा भी इनके बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस होते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल आई फील लाइक घर में ही पेट रखना इतना एक्सपेंसिव अफेयर होता है, स्पेशली यू नो व्हेन यू हैव एनी काइंड ऑफ पेट इन द हाउस, टेकिंग देम टू द वेट, देयर फूड, देयर मेंटेनेंस, हर चीज. आप इतने सारे एनिमल्स का ऑन द स्ट्रीट्स ख्याल रखती हैं. हाउ डू यू मैनेज दैट?
Well, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
I would like to tell you that all the volunteers like me who work towards the welfare,
Yeah.
everything goes from our own pockets.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So as I already told you that most of us, we say that we need to work because we have a lot of animals to take care of.
Yes.
So it's a means to an end.
Correct.
So all of us, we pay for the dogs, the cats, cattle, birds, whatever.
Yeah.
We pay for them from our salaries.
Right.
And we have to plan our expenses like
Correct.
you do for anything else.
Absolutely.
Because this is a cause that we are fighting
Yeah.
for, and we would like to keep doing the work, the good work.
Yeah.
Because we see that there are a lot of challenges that the dogs and the cats have to face
Yeah.
continuously. And rather than looking at them, feeling sorry and not doing anything, I think we all prefer to take action,
Yeah.
and be a little prudent about it, be a
For
little
sure.
diligent about it,
Absolutely.
and get it done.
Absolutely. But you don't really like run an NGO, so to speak, right? Currently, you're an individual who sort of helps street animals.
I am affiliated with 2 NGOs right
Oh,
now.
you are? Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
one is Simagad Animal Welfare Trust.
Okay. Yeah.
So which is near my house,
Okay.
and it is an NGO that has been running for past 5-6 years now.
Okay.
And we have active volunteers like me.
Okay.
So everybody has different preferences.
Right.
So like for example, I don't do many rescue cases, but I do like regular feeding and regular
Right.
grooming, upkeep of the regular dogs and
Correct.
cats.
Correct.
There are a lot of volunteers who run the spay and neuter, like animal birth control drives that
Yeah.
we have.
Yeah.
So they run those drives very regularly.
Correct.
So we get slots, we go to different areas, we catch the dogs, get them spayed or neutered,
Yeah.
and then we return them to their original locations.
Right.
And then there are other volunteers who regularly do rescue cases
Okay.
for sick, injured animals.
Right.
So that is also a very active.
Right. I was just about to ask you, in fact, कि अगर बहुत सारे ऐसे यंग बच्चे हैं जिनको एनिमल वेलफेयर, स्ट्रीट एनिमल्स में कंट्रीब्यूट करना है, वॉलंटियर करना है,
Yes.
तो क्या क्या काम होते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ हेल्पिंग एनिमल वेलफेयर? लाइक हाउ डू यू डू दैट? क्या क्या दूसरे काम होते हैं?
Acha. So the daily regular task is to feed them,
Yeah.
which is like a Goliath task, as
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
to call it.
So
because-
currently how many dogs are you feeding?
So near my house, I feed about 40 dogs.
Okay.
So they are like in different packs and
Right.
different locations. They have their fixed locations. They don't move.
Yeah.
And they have a fixed timing also. So generally I
Oh.
go around 3 a.m., 3:15 a.m.
Oh.
And I come back home by 4:30
Oh बाप रे.
because that
Every
is
day?
every day.
Okay.
And I've been doing this since many years now.
बाप रे.
But I mean, it works because that is kind of the time slot that you get when there is like least amount of traffic,
Yeah.
and there are almost no humans
Correct.
walking around.
Correct.
So it's safe for the dogs.
Yeah.
And it's safe for the humans.
Yeah.
That is the directive given to us by Animal Welfare Board.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
we have to obey.
So
we have to
इनको
do the best.
खिलाने का काम एक रहता है.
Yes.
और क्या क्या काम रहते हैं पता करेंगे गांधाली के साथ.
Yeah.
क्या क्या काम रहते हैं? So one of course is feeding them. You
Feeding,
said.
correct.
What's the next?
Second is kind of looking out if there are any stray dogs or cats around you in the locality.
Okay.
And reporting them to get spayed or neutered. So females
Oh.
get spayed,
Right.
males get neutered.
Right.
So keeping an eye if there
Right.
are any intact strays that need to get spayed or neutered,
Right.
because we are also actively working towards animal birth control.
Right.
We don't want them to get overpopulated,
Yeah.
because there is a unnecessary burden on the
Absolutely.
resources
Yeah.
and the volunteers.
Correct.
And we do not have
Yeah.
the system in place for their welfare.
Absolutely.
So we want the numbers to be controlled.
Yeah.
So obviously you can get in touch with the main institution who is working towards this is Canine Control and Care
Right.
in Pune.
Okay.
So if you send them an email or if you get in touch with them,
Okay.
they will definitely help you out. And there are like, similar institutions working in different parts
Right.
of Pune.
Right.
So that is also a
Okay.
thing. Another is, keeping an eye in general on if there are any injured animals around you, if there
Okay.
are any, newborn, neonatal puppies or kittens that you
Right.
can see
Yeah.
who need, an expert to look at them.
Correct.
They need help.
Yeah.
Many times what happens is a lot of strays, like mothers,
Yeah.
cats and dogs, they themselves are very young.
Right. Right.
And they give birth to kittens or puppies and they don't know what to do.
Correct.
So many times they tend to abandon their offspring.
Right.
So we need to keep an eye if you hear like a puppy crying
Yeah.
in a distance,
Yeah.
or there's a kitten. So make sure that you report to somebody who is an active volunteer in your area, and
Right.
then they can get in touch with their NGO and get some help.
Right.
Just like keeping an eye,
Absolutely.
looking
I
out
think
for them.
being an alert citizen is as much volunteering
Absolutely.
as it is, for people like Gandhali who are very much sort of intensely involved with NGOs. So apart from Siagarh, are you involved with any other NGOs?
Yes.
Okay.
So another NGO that I am affiliated to is called Corporate. It's a word play.
Oh, lovely. I love
Yeah.
that word. करता क्या है corporate? क्या करता है corporate?
So we named it Corporate because we started from our office campus.
Okay.
The office campus dogs,
Okay.
whom we like to call corporate dogs because they
Yeah.
are always hanging out on the corporate campuses.
Correct.
So we started from our office campus, which was like a very small WhatsApp group,
Okay.
and we used to coordinate
Okay.
because we used to see somebody who used to feed the dogs on the campus, so we used to include them on the group.
Right.
And this is how slowly we went on forming a group,
Right.
and then we registered the NGO.
Right.
So we are an registered NGO now,
Wow. That's amazing.
Corporate Animal Welfare Trust.
Correct.
And we tend to focus on all the SEZs
Okay.
and corporate campuses because we
Right.
want to help the companies
Yeah.
include this in their green campus initiative.
Absolutely, for sure. And I
Yeah.
think that it helps to have these animals on campus because with the stress levels that there are
Yeah.
in office, these kind of help as stress releases,
Oh,
where you can hang with
Yeah,
these pets.
It's lovely to
Yeah.
see, how well people interact with them. Like
Yeah.
they are just sitting in the the hangout spaces,
Yeah.
and there's one dog who is sitting at their feet,
Yeah.
and they're slowly petting them, and the
Yeah.
dog is also enjoying the company.
Correct,
So
correct,
that is the kind of peaceful coexistence that we aim at.
Absolutely. क्या बात है तो अगर किसी को sort of contribute करना है to these NGOs, how do they get in touch with corporate or?
So for both the NGOs, we have active social media, and
Right.
we also have website.
Okay.
So they can get in touch with us on Facebook or Instagram
Okay.
for both of them, and we will get in touch.
Absolutely. So there you go. I mean, if you're running an extremely busy and stressful life, लेकिन फिर भी आपको animal welfare के लिए कुछ करना है, one of the biggest things you can do is घर बैठे बैठे you can contribute to these wonderful
Definitely.
organizations that work towards the welfare of animals. Gandhali, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks, Minal.
और
Thanks for
जाते
having
जाते
me.
आप पुणेकर को क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
Well, I would like to say that each one feed one,
Yeah.
either in kind or in cash.
Oh, nice.
So in whatever means you can, please help our strays.
बिल्कुल.
Indie hai hum is our hashtag.
क्या
So,
बात है.
Indie
Super.
hai hum,
Right.
वतन है हिंदुस्तान हमारा.
अरे
So
वाह.
help us.
क्या बात है बिल्कुल और इसी के साथ सकार पेटोपिया में गांधाली को करते हैं विदा बट यू स्टिक अराउंड वी स्टिल गॉट लॉट ऑफ पेट टॉक टू डू सकार पेटोपिया में प्रेजेंटेड बाय सकार मीडिया में आरजे मीना एंड दिस इज 94.3 हैपनिंग है
An initiative by Sakar Media.